What's up YouTubers, this is Hazard F5 back with a brand new video, and today is another re-review from my old channel. The belt we're going to be looking at today is my favourite championship of all time, although it does flip-flop with number 2 occasionally. This is a belt that I grew up watching on television religiously throughout the Attitude Era every Friday night, because here in the UK both Raw and Nitro aired on a Friday evening. I would watch the show and see this belt and think, one day I have to have one of those. And it came to fruition several years ago. I had a number of different variations of this design throughout the years, and this is by far the best one that I've had. And this is something that, like I said, I grew up watching. If you can't tell from what I'm wearing or the display case behind me, I am a huge WCW fan. So today we're going to be taking a look at the premium Classic Shields dual-plated Crumrine Big Gold World Heavyweight Championship belt. So, let's go take a look. So here we have the Classic Shields Premium Crumrine style Big Gold belt. So let's get into it. I'll start at the top with the 3D rope border going all the way around the plates. Some version of this belt and some previous versions by Classic Shields actually had the rope border attached onto the top of the plate, whereas this one's actually attached to the edge of the plate, so you don't have the flat plate underneath. More like the actual Crumrine belt. You've got the gold floral, along with the stone holders, mimicking the design of the original. See how the lighting catches the floral in different aspects. So it'll catch the top of the floral, for example, but then when it's positioned differently, it'll catch other areas, sides, etc. Here you've got the wording of World Heavyweight Wrestling Champion. A lot of people produce their own variations of the Crumrine Big Gold. It's in the sort of, I guess, I forget what the word is, not open market, but it's in the public domain. Anyone's free to replicate the Big Gold belt. No one owns the actual design to it. Some variations are slightly different, so you've seen ones over the years, as have I. You'll see one on my old channel where the floral was just 2D flat acid etched and the gaps were just textured, whereas this one's based more on the original. And of course the Big Gold belt, one of the most iconic belts in wrestling history, with the real one being owned by Conrad Thompson over at Ad Free Shows. And with the Big Gold also, you've got the lineage. So the Big Gold belt was introduced on February 14th, 1986. And that same set of plates was used all the way until the year 2000, or the end of the year 2000, when then in 2001 they introduced, or Scott Steiner introduced, the all-gold AFX Studio cast copy that he would use on WCW television for the remainder of WCW's run on television. So you've got the grapplers, along with the other side, all going in the same direction. Again, you've got the texturing on the lettering, all the correct size, and there's also little nuances here that are based on the original Crumrine that many other copies by makers and stuff don't quite have. I went with a Stinger nameplate with the traditional Crumrine style. I think it looks really, really nice. I do actually have a trophy style all gold nameplate with just Sting on it across the middle here. Although, upon further reflection, I think this just looks better. Then you've got the globe with the texturing. And the crown with the 4 clear stones and the 2 red ones, matching those stones going around the main plate. This belt does have also a slight curve on it. While the WCW Championship was pretty much flat by the end of its use, it was originally curved. As the original was made of silver, it was a lot more sort of malleable, a lot more durable, and it flattened out over time. I'm guessing through being carried flat in people's carrier bags and stuff with boots and clothes and stuff piled on top of it, the weight of it eventually gave way and flattened out over time. Now let's head to the side plates. So again, you've got the stone holders with the flower pattern on the inside, with the rope on the outside. Again, you've got the rope border going all the way around. And then you've got the grapplers in the center. Same on the other side. So unlike later variations like the WWE's 3D style big gold, there was no mirroring going on. It's just one of those pieces that I think everyone knows the big gold, and with its history and with the fact that it's been used by multiple promotions, whether that be WWE with their own take on the logo. Later on in 2010, the TNA big gold was introduced, which is very loosely based on this one. I think most people have an affection for this belt at the time it was used. Even if you weren't a fan of the NWA or WCW, everyone has the memory of it being a very prominent aspect of the wrestling business, including during the Attitude Era, with the likes of Flair and Hollywood Hogan and Goldberg and Sting and others holding the championship. A piece of history. Now let's take a look at the leather. So the leather on this, I was never a huge fan of the original colour of the strap that was on the big gold belt. And being an 80s kid that really grew up in the 90s, I thought to myself, well, I personally prefer to have belts that look how they looked on television. So I've had it done on a black strap with sort of like dirtied out white stitching. Now, there is a common misconception, and anyone who's read the Big Gold Book or the history of the Big Gold Book will know that the Big Gold belt, for the longest time, wasn't on black leather. It wasn't actually re-leathered onto a black strap until 1999. In fact, the belt was re-leathered following the Nitro episode on the 6th of September 1999. On that episode of Nitro, Hogan appeared in the ring with the championship looking the way it does here on the left. While not completely black, it pretty much looks that way, and you can see how beaten up the leather strap is, with it drooping down immediately after Hogan stops holding it. Now, the belt would remain this way, and this would make its final appearance on the original 1986 strap until Fall Brawl the following Sunday on September the 12th, 1999, where Hogan dropped the championship to Sting, with Sting turning super babyface by attempting to turn heel and attacking Hogan with a baseball bat. Here you see Sting holding up the championship after the match, and as you can see, the leather is significantly stiffer and sturdier and cleaner than it was in the image on the left. So now we have the answer to when the belt was re-leathered in late 1999 onto a new black strap, the answer being the week of September 6th, with the belt on the new leather debuting on the 12th of September 1999 at the Fall Brawl pay-per-view. However, from about 95-ish, maybe a little bit before, onwards, the strap still looked black on television, and that was due to the amount of dirt, sweat, baby oil, alcohol, Ric Flair's man fluids, and everything that was on the belt dirtied it over time to the point where it basically looked black, and that was kind of the look that I decided to go for ultimately. So this is, as you saw, a classic Shield strap. It is very, very flexible, has a lot of give in the strap. So you've got that nice floppiness that collectors go for. And then you've got the plain black backing. Now, the original Crumrine and the style had the bolts exposed. I actually forgot this detail when I was ordering this belt. So that one's on me. Although personally, I've had big golds. Like I even had a Classic Shields Ultimate Big Gold, which is where they have the rope border on top of the plate as opposed to on the edge of it. And I had the bolts exposed, and to be honest, they just annoyed me because they would keep coming loose. Whereas when they're covered up, they're all glued over. That doesn't happen. So just the shine of this thing, the way the light is caught by the floral areas and the grapplers, absolutely stunning. Like I said, I've always been a fan of this belt since I grew up watching it and being a big WCW guy. Just a beautiful, beautiful piece. I think, like, dimensions wise and art wise, this is probably the closest we've got so far. That's not to say that someone won't come along and do an even better copy or more accurate copy later on. But as far as like the specs and the overall look of the belt, size and specs, absolutely gorgeous. So there you have it, guys, the Classic Shields Premium Crumrine style Big Gold belt, the NWA WCW World Championship. An absolutely gorgeous piece. This thing is superb. I highly recommend it. I've always wanted a top tier big gold in my collection based on the Nitro Era Championship, and now I have it. Obviously had it for a number of years now, but it still sits pretty at the beginning of all my videos in the top level tier of my WCW cabinet. Obviously my custom NWA Championship is sitting back there now, but this will take its rightful place in the next video. Speaking of the next video, I don't know what the next video review is going to be. Previously I put out a poll asking you guys which review do you want to see next, whether it be the JMR 2002 WWE Cruiserweight or this Premium Big Gold. Unfortunately, I got an email from our dear friends at YT informing me that the video had been flagged, and essentially, they didn't use this wording, but it's what it is, shadow banned the video because it was obviously a poll asking for people to vote in the comment section on my next video. Their bots flagged it, assuming that I was asking people to vote for a certain candidate in over the US, because at the time of that video and the time of this recording as well, there is an election going on over there, and seemingly anything with the word poll or vote or anything like that seems to be getting a bit of bother. So I will have to bear that in mind. If I can, I'm going to try and do another video where I'll choose a couple of belts and give you guys the option of what to vote on next here on the channel. Anyway guys, that's it from me. Hope you enjoyed the video, hope you enjoyed the belt. Let me know what you think of it in the comment section below, and I'll catch you as always next time.